So, you're all in. Excellent. This magical moment is designed to be a powerful ritual, a rite of passage, to embrace your decision to be a witch. If you haven't watched the previous magical moment, Are You a Baby Witch? Go watch that. And when you're ready, come on back, because that is going to tell you the only 3 things you need to learn to be a witch, so you'll know you're ready. Because ceremonies and rituals are very powerful and important to the human psyche, this rite of passage is also very important. Your decision to follow the path of the witch is no different than any other decision in life that has significance. This is a huge step, because you know what? Here goes. You're saying, I am witch, hear me roar. My call's too big to ignore, and I'll raise my mantle high as powers soar. Yeah, I'm done. Embrace it though. Embrace it to your core. You have been drawn to this path, and if you've been drawn to this path, then I guarantee you will not regret your decision to jump in the deep end. You may not think you know enough, but jumping in and committing to the path, then acting like a witch, which means doing the things that witches do, that's the only step you need to move from a researcher of witchcraft to actually being a witch. Spoiler alert, there's no such thing as a baby witch. There's no step in between that. You're either researching the craft or you're a witch, right? You're doing it or you're looking at doing it. Just like there's no step in between not being pregnant and being pregnant. You either are or you're not. And once you have a child, you're a mother or a father. And just like parenthood, being a witch is a constant, ongoing state of learning and expanding. Are you ready? If not, then research some more. In fact, research the rest of your life if you like. But save this link, and when you're ready, you come back here and let's do something to embrace your witchdom with a rite of passage. Okay, one more thing before we begin a ritual. I want to make an important recommendation. While there are only witches and non-witches, there are witches with more skill and experience versus less. Okay, if you're new, you're in that latter category. So for your safety and the safety of others, this isn't a game or a play toy. I highly recommend that you take a firm mindset to do no harm. At least until you know enough about the pitfalls or the potential pitfalls of that gray and darker path to be able to more safely navigate that path. Your path will change and evolve over time, like all of ours has. Perhaps you'll decide to embrace that gray darkness, perhaps not. But at least in the beginning, until you know more, please set a strong intention to do no harm. Okay, now, are you ready to move from researching about the craft to actually being a witch? Well, you're still here, so congratulations, I guess you are. In the comments below, I have provided a link to download a free PDF of this ritual for your Book of Shadows, or your grimoire, whatever you call it. It's prepared in the format I prefer because I did it. And that would be a half size, because I use a classic size Franklin planner type day planner for mine, but you can print it in a full size if you like, just turn it sideways. Okay, little side note, in case you're not familiar. Book of Shadows, or your grimoire, is your personal record of your magical activities. And as a result, what happens in those activities? What were the results? And it's going to prove critical to evaluating your effectiveness. And it's going to help you adjust what you do to improve your process and get more predictable results, because that is the point, right? You don't want randomness. You want to know that what you're doing is producing what you expect. Okay, so one day you're going to use it to celebrate how far you've come and really, really be excited about it. And perhaps you'll even use it to help others on their path. So if you're serious about the craft, keep meticulous records. It's not a game. Wielding energy is serious business. If you just like the jewelry, Go back to seeking and put on the jewelry. It's all good. Okay, here's what you'll need. Now go ahead and print out that ritual so you have it and you can be better prepared. You'll need a candle of any kind, color. Many prefer birthday candles because they're inexpensive and they burn through quickly. You'll need bay leaves, 4 of them to be exact. A small bowl of salt or rice, and that's going to hold the bay leaf as it burns. Here's something I sometimes use. You're also going to need a glass of drinking water. So make it clean, pure, good drinking water, okay? A marker, fine tip works better, or some other writing utensil because you're going to write on those bay leaves. And a lighter, because, yeah, unless you like looking at an unlit candle, you're going to have to light it. Okay, so why do you need these things? Because I said so? No, not good enough. I want you to think about why certain ingredients are important to a particular spell. Don't just do it because me or anybody else tells you to. Candle, okay? Candle adds heat and energy and helps you focus your intention. Okay, bay leaves, lots of good reasons to use bay leaves, but once you understand why they're there, then plenty of other things would satisfy that requirement if you don't have any bay leaf. Even pure old plain intention, once you're good at it. I like bay leaves for this though, and let me tell you why. Number one, most people have them in their kitchen already. Easy, cheap, accessible, makes for good spell work. They also act like sage for clearing or as a cleansing agent. They also have other valuable properties like healing, protection, love, prosperity. And as an herbalist, I also choose my magical correspondences because of their associated medicinal properties. Bay leaves, wonderful. They lower blood sugar. And one of our goals here at the end of this is definitely not to be affected by all the sugar-coated shit we come across out there regarding the craft, right? Yep. Bay leaf is also used to treat cancer, as well as gas and bloating. And I don't know about you, but I like to avoid anything malignant and also get rid of all the useless hot air that's spewed around the craft as well. It's all about cultivating discernment. So, bay leaf also increases bile production. Better digestion means better accessibility to use whatever you take in. Now, that's not just with food, but when we talk about the craft and growing in the craft, that's about taking in energy and information and using it well. Bay leaf, I like it. Okay, bay leaf also slows down the central nervous system, and it can promote easier access to altered states of consciousness, which is where magic can happen more easily. I sometimes use it in tea, and if you're inclined to do this, then you should do your homework if you're not an herbalist, because herbs are medicine, and powerful medicine at times. And as medicine, there are precautions to be aware of if you're going to take it internally, particularly for pregnant or breastfeeding ladies. And if you have diabetes, it can drop your blood sugar level, sometimes dramatically. Also, we're not eating or drinking it, so I probably didn't need to say this because this ritual burns it, but I feel like I need to, because if you feel compelled to actually drop it into that water or hot water and make a tea out of it like I do sometimes, well, you need to know. So, you've opened your ritual document and you've read it over thoroughly, made any modifications that suit you because it is your ritual. And this also allows you to fully embrace the intent and purpose of the ritual. Okay, ready? Let's begin. Now, I'm not going to physically do this with you because I want the timing to be your own. And I want you to know the ritual. I want you to be thoroughly prepared and make the ritual your own, not just follow along at something I'm doing. So, I'll be kind of reading through the printed version of the ritual, but I'll be adding some additional information verbally that's not written there in the printed version. So feel free to take some notes or revisit this recording and refresh your mind if you like to. Okay, so once you've found a place where you won't be disturbed, you're going to organize your tools on your altar or your table in a way that makes sense to you, and keep flame safety in mind here. Light your candle with ceremony, with reverence, and this will serve to add focus and energy to your intention as well. Take this seriously. Okay, so you're sitting in front of your candle, and you're going to take a few deep breaths and just relax. You're going to drop into what I call a spell casting altered state. And maybe for you that is breath work. Maybe you're going to meditate for a few minutes, or as long as it takes to relax, let go of the day, and be present with what we're doing right now. Maybe you're simply going to focus on the energy of that flame that's flickering in front of you. Whatever it is, you're going to drop into that focused state of mind where all you're thinking about is this process and the feeling of the end result in a peaceful yet knowing, reverent, and sacred way. Now expand that state of peace and calm that's in your mind and bring it down into your heart space, where it mingles with gratitude and compassion for yourself and all that you're becoming. Then take it out to your entire physical body, out to the edge of your auric field, and beyond to the extent you feel is appropriate. Recognize and appreciate all the impact that you're going to have, or that you do have, on yourself and your family, and to all those around you as you embrace this part of yourself. Now, I find that this high level of vibration is all the protection I need. But I have a lot more experience than you do, probably. So, being new to working with energy, I want you to establish a barrier with your pure intent at the edge of that field you've created, where only benevolent energies can enter or leave, so that inadvertent repercussions due to your inexperience are prevented. Be safe, and know you are. Okay, now choose a bay leaf. Write the word baby witch or researcher, perhaps, on it. Now you can either crumble that bay leaf into your flame to burn it, or you can place it in a small bowl of rice or salt so that it stands up, and light it to burn. As your identity as a baby witch, or whatever you call yourself, burns, be in that state of thankfulness for the journey of discovery. And as it burns, take 3 more bay leaves and write these words on them. Finder, as in the finder of useful methods. A seer, as in a seer of wisdom. A knower, as in a knower of truth. And place these bay leaves under your glass of water, or drop them into the water if you have used non-toxic ink and you've done your research about the herb. You could have used lemon juice, because you don't have to see the words, you just have to know they're there. Or maybe charcoal would work if you're actually going to put them in the water. Or you could even create a sigil, which is a symbol to represent these 3 words, and write it on the outside of the glass. Just as effective. Now, as the candle continues to burn, the intention behind the words and the benefits of the bay leaf continue to infuse into that water. When you're ready, slowly drink the water, allowing it to linger in your mouth, being absorbed by the blood vessels under your tongue, and mix it with the saliva for better absorption and digestion before it continues on into your system. Now, be aware of the power of the intention as you're feeling the water leaving your mouth and moving down your esophagus into your digestive tract to be fully integrated into every cell in your body. Just sit for a minute with the results of that process, for a few minutes, as long as you like, really feeling and knowing all the ways this path of the witch is empowering you, all the ways this path will give you tools to change yourself and the world around you. When you have fully embraced this aspect of your identity, allow the candle to burn completely out, or snuff it out with your damp fingers or a snuffer as a completion of the ritual, and state something bringing it to a finish, like "mote it be," or "it is done," to really signify the completion of the process. Well, congratulations, and welcome to your change in status from just looking at the craft to actually practicing it.